syllabi for the course. All right, the first one we're going to take a look at is our departmental syllabus. All right, and this is our departmental syllabus. This is a general syllabus that is used across the board for all of our anatomy and physiology lab classes. I'm just going to kind of go through and hit the high points of this because most of it is pretty straightforward, and I trust that you can go through and read through a lot of the fluff that's in there, but I'm going to go through and hit the important things. Obviously, the first thing, again, is about the Delgado course complete. So if you have not opted out, you will receive access to the lab manual right here, which is the 6th edition, and you'll also receive access to Principles of Anatomy and Physiology, the 16th edition, which is your lecture textbook as well. They also will have atlases available. I'm not sure exactly off of this list. I think the Rust, the Labov, I think both of those are definitely available. But again, I'll send out an announcement with information about how you can go about picking those items up. Now, the atlases you don't have digital access to. The only thing you'll have digital access to are the texts themselves. So if you need one of these atlases, you'll have to pick that up physically. Here's a breakdown of the course content that we'll have over the entire semester. If it's a full semester, you'll get your full 14 weeks to get this done. And if you're in my mini session course, we'll do this in half that time. Here is information about the exams themselves. Again, I have mine set up for 65% exams, 35% quizzes, so I'm giving you a little heavier weight for the quizzes, which will help your average out a little bit as you go through the semester. The practical exams. Practical exams are 50 questions. They are fill in the blank. There is no word bank, and spelling does count. However, when I say spelling does count, if you misspell a word and you get credit for it, the misspelled word is only going to cost you 1/4 of a point. So you'll get 2 points for a correct answer, and you'll only lose 1/4 of a point for it being misspelled. So I'll talk about this a little bit in just a minute when I go over my addendum, but the identification of everything is going to be the most important part of the practical exams. You'll have 4 physiology exams. These exams for me will be multiple choice exams. So you'll have questions specifically related to physiology that we talked about in the lecture videos, and you'll have 25 multiple choice questions. For the anatomy test, I usually give you 60 minutes to take that, and for the physiology test, I give you 35 minutes to take. You do have a final cumulative exam. Again, this is just going to be on anatomy. It will be 100 questions, fill in the blank, no word bank, just like the anatomy tests. 25 questions from that will come from the first block of material, 25 from the second block, 25 from the third block, and 25 from the fourth block. I do try to make the exams fairly evenly distributed so that it doesn't hit one of the labs, significantly heavier than the other sections. So, if there's three different labs on an exam, like there is on the first exam, you'll see 16 to 17 questions from each lab. The rest of the labs, oftentimes it's 2 labs per exam, so you'll get 25 questions from one and 25 questions from the other lab. Again, don't forget to do your bonus exercises. That's worth a lot of extra credit points for you. Again, I kind of went over the exam rules. Please don't violate testing protocol. I really hate to give people zeros, on exams. I will give you a 0 though if I find that you're, being academically dishonest during the testing process. Again, we'll review the video together so I can point out exactly what it is that you did that violated testing protocol. But just do your best and try not to, put yourself in a position where I have to question, something that you're doing during the exam itself. Here's your grading scale. Now I do round up, and my grading scale in my addendum will reflect that. But if you have an 89.5 or higher, that will round up to an A. 79.5 or higher will round up to a B. 69.5 or higher will round up to a C. You don't have to email me and ask me about that. It'll just happen when I post the grades into Lola. Um, FN grades, and I'll talk about this a little bit when we get into my lab manual, but it's important that if you stop attending the class that you make sure you get on and you drop the class. If you don't drop the class, you'll be subjected to an FN grade, which is going to flag the institution that you did not successfully participate in a class that you maybe received financial aid for. That will flag your financial aid, and that will basically send you into a bunch of paperwork to get your financial aid for the next semester. So if you need to drop the class, make sure you do so. If you just stop attending, you'll end up with an FN grade, which is different than an F grade. And I have the parameters outlined in my addendum as to what quantifies or what will classify you as receiving an FN grade. All your grades will be posted to Canvas. I will post midterm grades, but you'll know your grades at any point during the semester. So the midterm grades that get posted in Lola, that just shows you where you are at that point. I can't email you your any grades. So again, everything's posted to Canvas, so you shouldn't need that. If you have an issue during the semester, please reach out to me. If you have any concerns as far as the classroom goes, as far as the learning, as far as COVID, anything like that, please reach out to me first. We'll see what we can do to get everything worked out. If we can't come up with a solution, I will then pass you on up the ladder to one of our assistant department chairs or to our department chair to see what we can do as far as a solution to whatever problem it is that you're having. However, if you just go to them first, they're likely going to ask if you've talked to me, and they're going to send you back to me. So again, just reach out to me. I'm really easy to work with, I feel like, and we will get it worked out and ironed out as best we can. Again, communication, the department policy is that emails should be returned within 24 hours. I typically return emails much more quickly than that during the week. Again, on the weekend, it'll be the next business day. So if you email me on Saturday, unless it's an emergency, it'll probably be Monday before I get back to you. Grades, I get posted as quickly as possible. The physiology grades usually get posted the same day. The anatomy grades usually take me a day or two to get to them. If an exam closes on a Friday, typically I don't start grading the anatomy tests until Monday because I like to, I'm pretty busy on the weekends as far as personal things go because I'm so busy during the week as far as school things go. But I will get them graded as quickly as possible. Multiple choice exams, the department says we have to have them up in 72 hours. That'll always happen. And your fill in the blanks, we have up to a week. But usually I'll get them back to you, within a day or two. There are science resource centers available on both campuses. The Science Resource Center at City Park is going to be virtual for the time being. In fact, I think all of the Science Resource Centers will be virtual. But if you need to go in person, and you live in the city, once they become available for in-person stuff, I will post an announcement and let you know. The rest of this I'll let you kind of read through. Academic honesty, disability statement. If you have any questions about that, again, please reach out to me individually. Now, the last thing we have is my syllabus addendum. And this is information that is specific to my class in particular. So this may be a little bit different than what you see in the departmental syllabus. First of all, you can see my primary office location. Well, that is now actually changed. I need to change that for you. I am now in Building 6. We had a new building on the West Bank campus. But again, all my office hours are going to be virtual this year. So please reach out to me through the Zoom link in Canvas. Here's my email address again. This is my office phone number. But again, the best way to get in touch with me is going to be through email. Again, this is an online course, so your ability to manage your time and your workload is going to be specifically up to you. I have those due dates set, but they are in due dates, so you can do the assignments actually at any time. You can always work ahead. The only things that open and close at specific times are the exams, but all of the exercises and homework and quizzes and everything else, they're all open from the beginning of the class, so you can attempt those and do those at any time. They just need to be done by the due dates that are set. Again, I have pre-recorded lectures in YouTube that you'll be able to access. If you need to ask me specific questions, the best thing to do is to come and meet with me during my office hours if you have a bunch of questions. Students oftentimes will want to email me, and they email me a lot of questions like a conversation. And it just, it gets a little bit tedious to try to answer those questions via email. So if you have very specific or lots of questions, again, just pop into my office hours, and we'll take care of that. If you ever want to take a look at your exams, again, just pop into the office hours, and I'll let you take a look at, what you missed on those particular exams as well. Attendance or participation in the class is mandatory. You can't pass this class, if you don't spend a good amount of time preparing for it. This is a tough class. All right. There's no sugarcoating it in any way or shape or form. You have to do the work if you want to be successful in this class. I'm going to give you all the resources, all the tools. If you email me or come meet with me, I'll give you suggestions. You'll hear me give you suggestions in the videos as to how to best learn certain things. But you have to go and access that information if you want to do well. If you just try to teach yourself, you're going to be in for a very long semester because it is a huge volume of information. And it is very difficult information. There's a lot of terminology and a lot of vocabulary to this class, which is going to be different than vocabulary and terminology that you've heard before. So, the more you hear me talk about it, the better off you're going to be when it comes time for the exam. So I highly emphasize and recommend that you utilize the resources that I mentioned in the videos. Again, if you stop participating in the class, you will receive an FN grade. An FN grade for this course is for a student that misses any more than 50% of the graded material. So that's 5 quizzes or pre-labs or post-labs or more, and then 2 exams or more. Makeup practicals aren't going to be given. You're going to have a 2-day window in which to take your exams. I have your exams set to open on Thursdays and close on Fridays. So that gives you a 48-hour window to take the exams. So there shouldn't be any reason why somebody can't find time within the 48-hour window to get on and take both the anatomy and the physiology test. Now, if you have some type of extenuating circumstances, please reach out to me as soon as possible. Don't wait 3 or 4 days to then get in touch with me and say, hey, Dr. B, I missed that exam. This is the reason why. If you do, then I'm going to have to need some type of documentation as to why you missed that exam. Otherwise, I'm not going to allow you to make that exam up. So just do your best to make sure you take it on those scheduled dates. Again, 4 lab exams, they're going to be fill in the blank. They're going to mostly come about identification. Again, the identification is the most important part of the anatomy exam. You're going to get a full credit for identifying it right and spelling it correctly. If you misspell, then that's where you're going to lose and you're going to get partial credits. So again, make sure you focus on the identification and then go back and learn the spelling and the rights and lefts and things like that. Your anatomy and your physiology exams will all get averaged together. I do not drop any of the exam grades. None of the exam grades replace each other. So essentially, you're going to have 9 exam grades that make up 65% of your final grade. All right. You're going to have 4 anatomy, you're going to have 4 physiology, and you're going to have the final. The final is not weighted heavier than the other exams. It's just another exam. So you'll have 9 tests that make up 65% of your grade. So essentially it means each exam makes up approximately 7% or a little over 7% of your final grade. So if you do poorly on one exam, it's not going to completely sink you for the course, but you need to make sure then that you rebound on the following tests, all right? Because one exam is just a small percentage of your grade. Now, 35% of your grade is going to come from the average of all your quizzes and assignments. Your pre-lab quizzes, your post-lab quizzes, all get averaged together. I do drop the 2 lowest quizzes or assignments. So if you miss 1 or 2, those zeros will then be dropped from your average, and those won't be used in calculating your average. And Canvas knows which grades are the lowest, which grades are the highest, and so forth. So, when but if you stay on top of everything and don't miss any, then it'll just pick the 2 lowest quiz grades. So that 35% of your grade should be fairly impressive as far as helping your overall average, because it does make up a huge chunk, and that 35% is basically like a 35% open book test. You don't have to calculate your average. Canvas will calculate everything for you. If you have an 89.5 or higher going into the final, and you haven't missed any practicals, you are exempt from taking the final exam. So there's a little motivation. Do well in the class. If you have an A going into the class, then you're in good shape and you don't have to take the final exam. If you have anything lower than an 89.4, then you're required to take the final exam. I told you about all the bonuses that you have available. Because of those bonuses, I do not give individual extra credit. I never have, I never will, because I give you so much during the course of the semester. So please make sure you utilize all of that. In the past, I've had students not do all of the extra credit assignments and then ask me for more extra credit. To me, that just doesn't make sense. When you didn't take the opportunities that I gave you, that you want me then to give you extra credit on the back end of the course, and it's just not going to happen. Here again are the percentage breakdowns, the grading scale, cheating policy, and then after that I just have the information about technology requirements that you saw on Canvas. I put that in the syllabus just so that you have access to it someplace else again, should you have any questions. All right, and that about welcomes you into the class. Again, make sure you watch this video. If you need to watch it a couple of times, if you have questions about where to find things, where to access things, again, reach out to me as soon as possible at the beginning of the semester. I don't want anybody dragging in until right before the first exam and saying I didn't know. And good luck this semester. If you put the work in and you study hard and you stay on top of this consistently, that's going to give you your best chance to perform the way that you want to in this course. This is not a wait till the last minute and try to cram all of it in type course. It's just too much information and too much terminology to be able to do so. So make sure you're studying this a little bit every day. Make sure that if you have questions, you come meet with me or email me, and good luck. All right, and I'll be reaching out to you on a fairly consistent basis again through Canvas. So make sure you have those notifications turned on, and we'll see you soon. Good luck.